Hello, peace, light, and love. Say peace, light, and love. Yeah. So today's talk will be about Meghan Markle, but will also be about other matters. Because we all matter. So I was just listening to the song that Meghan Markle chose for the wedding. I guess that was her choice, not Prince Harry, for some reason. Wild guess. Sam Cooke, Stand By Me. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light I see. I won't whatever, as long as you stand by me. So this was the motto of the royal wedding, to stand by me. So it was a very intimate event, but the royal family serves a purpose. They get taxpayers' money in order to serve the people. It's not the monarchy of the Middle Ages. It's a monarchy that acts in charity. And Princess Diana was the very, very essence of how the monarchy has become already modernized through Princess Diana. She went to Africa to help people. She didn't go to Africa to talk about herself. She did talk about herself, and she served millions of women all over the world who struggle with eating disorders and bad marriages and all sorts of women issues that were not talked about till then in public. She did that separately. She didn't come to Africa and talk about herself and her depression or whatever. Because Meghan Markle doesn't pay her way. The taxpayers of United Kingdom pay her way. And Harry's way. Prince Harry, who is Prince Harry? Yes, he had a difficult childhood. His mother was killed. And he blames the media for that. But let's look at the factors. She wasn't wearing a seatbelt. The driver whose car she entered was drunk, intoxicated. So those two factors endangered her life. It had nothing to do with the paparazzi chasing her. Paparazzi chase all famous people, but not all of them are killed in a car accident. And those two factors shouldn't be ignored. So when you blame the media and every click of a camera causes you post-traumatic stress, you should ask yourself whether you're giving responsibility to the wrong people. People like to see famous people. People like to see celebrities. And Meghan Markle has been exposed to cameras for a great deal of her life. She's not like this Princess Diana, 19-year-old married without any experience in the media. She's 37 years old actress, so you would expect her to have a backbone. And she claims she's a feminist, and yet everything all the podiums, all the places that she speaks, that she's able to speak up in are because she married a prince. So that's the ultimate anti-feminism. Because if you get your status from marrying someone, that's the opposite of being a feminist. A feminist means a woman who does it on her own because of her talents, because of her abilities. We know Meghan Markle has not made it into being a diplomat. She failed, despite her uncle pulling threads and doing everything possible, all kinds of contacts. She did not make it into being a diplomat, which she really wanted to, because she studied international relations at the university, besides drama. And then she chose number 2, drama. There too, her father helped her through his connections. Her husband helped her get that job and that acting role in Suits. Millions of women want to be actresses, and very few make it into being regular actresses in the media. And that's through a struggle. And yes, connections help, but she married into positions. And once again, she married into a position. And then instead of helping people in Africa, and let's stop and think about Africa for a minute, she talks about herself. What is Africa? Africa has been colonized by UK, United Kingdom, France, I don't know who else, Holland had South Africa there for a while. And what does it mean, colonialism? It means taking a land and making use of it, a land with a lot of resources, and taking advantage of it, and then presenting the Africans as though they're failures oh yeah, we are the great Europeans and we are very successful nations and we have lots of money and the Africans are stupid. No, they're not stupid, but they're not vicious people that are able to fight for what is theirs. And Meghan Markle comes from Africa. Her ancestors were enslaved, which means they were captured in Africa by colonists and sold as if they're objects. Does she speak about slavery and the trauma, the deep-seated trauma of being a slave by African Americans? That's the biggest post-trauma stress. She doesn't speak about that. And she says it's really hard to be a mother of a newborn child. However, she's had most of her life to be all by herself and taken care of number one. So now she has to take care of a child and she has a nanny, she has a whole set of servants helping her and it's really hard. But she's there to do charity work. And what does she choose instead? To talk about herself. And she gets paid by taxpayers of the United Kingdom to do this. Shenanigans. And then she says, oh, I don't really want to live in the UK. You get money from the United Kingdom by taxpayers' money. And now, oh, I changed my mind. I don't really like UK. Yeah, it's like, oh, I changed my mind. I'm just going to go back to US. I'm going to live in Malibu or whatever and just not going to care about anybody but myself. Just soak the sun and enjoy and I don't know. And Prince Harry, being the way he is, a man who is, as a young man dressed up as a Nazi in Nazi uniform, ignoring World War II and the millions of men and women who gave up their lives fighting against the Nazis. United Kingdom was under attack, the Blitz and everything. He just ignores history, wears Nazi uniforms, does silly stuff, and then all of a sudden he's a changed man? I don't think so. Not everybody can marry a narcissist and play the victim role. A millionaire, multimillionaire, plays the victim role while he's in Africa, where people are, if not starving, don't get medical assistance. And why don't they get medical assistance? Ask yourself. I'm asking these questions and I would like answers. Why do the people of Africa not get vaccinations, don't get medical assistance, don't get enough schools, don't get enough infrastructure, despite the fact that it's a very rich country full of resources? South Africa has so many resources. Where is the money going to? It's going to pay for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle celebrating themselves and enjoying and thriving, while other people don't have enough money to go to a doctor to have medical procedures such as saving your eyesight. Do you know that there are millions of people in Africa going blind because they don't have the medical assistance? Not to mention AIDS, not to mention all sorts of horrible problems. And not to mention millions of women having to undergo horrible circumcisions and all sorts of it's not circumcision actually, it's mutilation of their genitalia and all these matters. But Meghan Markle couldn't care less because she's having a hard time after delivering a baby. Wow. Poor me. And Prince Harry's suffering from post-trauma because his mommy was killed in a car accident. Well, wake up and smell the roses. There are millions of orphans in Africa because their parents die of AIDS, all kinds of diseases, or they're not able to provide for them basic schooling. While Prince Harry could have gone to university if he had the brains and the ability to do something with a goal worthwhile and not celebrate in Las Vegas. There are millions of children in Africa that don't have basic education. Yes, Meghan Markle, who has an education paid by her father. There are millions of parents who cannot afford to pay for their children to have basic schooling in Africa, rich Africa that has so much resources because of colonialism. So the British royal family was attempting to compensate by charity work. But Meghan Markle doesn't do that. She only cares about herself, but she lives off taxpayers' money. So I think it's time to do a revolution, similar to the French Revolution, and kick those people out of the palaces and allow the people to have the resources that they have. Don't pay taxes. I would say to British people, United Kingdom, don't pay taxes as long as this pair of clowns is making a mockery of charity, making a mockery of helping Africa after stealing everything from Africa, including people. and enslaving them, just don't pay taxes. Do like the Boston Tea Party. Don't pay taxes, people of the United Kingdom, and don't pay for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle to have joyrides all over the world and to play the victims. Well, the true victims are the people that don't have enough money to pay for their children to go to a doctor, to go to school, and various basic necessities that the royal family doesn't have to worry about. So yeah. So let's rip that mask of hypocrisy off the royal family, and let's kick Meghan Markle and Prince Harry out of their palace and let them live and make a living like everybody else has to in this world. Because if they don't act on behalf of the people, let them learn what it's like to be a person having to support themselves, having to go to work every day, and not to complain constantly about the fact that you just, I don't know, you didn't have a coffee on time, or I don't know what is the problem. So let's get rid of those two clowns, or send them to therapy or rehab or wherever they need to go in order to open their eyes and see that other people exist and the world doesn't revolve around Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. And also, for the sake of their baby, let that baby be raised by a sort of education that allows for people not to be narcissists, but allows to people to care about other people, whatever that means. Whatever that means. Look at Prince William, how he acts. Look at Catherine, how she acts for the people, how they go to schools and visit people, and wherever they go, they're interested in the people and don't talk all the time about themselves. Peace, light, and love.